Today, two watch experts go head-to-head in selecting watches to compete in the sports watch category across 4 different price points. This is the Showdown.
Are you ready to lose?
I'm ready to win. I know you're ready to lose. I'm actually quite excited to see what you picked, because I know mine are pretty decent within the price range that we agreed.
Yeah, I went to bed reciting how I'm gonna destroy you this morning.
Oh my God, please.
You know, so let's go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's such a cheat. But okay, sure. all right, let's go.
For the 5K USD category is the Atelier Wen Perception limited edition. And it's limited to 100 pieces. This watch is made out of titanium, making it great for sports. Comes with a rubber bracelet and also titanium bracelet as well. It is water resistant to 100 meters. It is 9.4 millimeters thick, making it super thin. The beautiful thing about this watch is actually the dial. This is done by China's only GMT-Master, Master Chen. It takes about 10 to 12 hours per dial, making each dial technically slightly unique. This is due to the fact that guilloche on the dial is actually done via a hand-turned rose engine, and this barely exists today. You only really see it on Kari watches or watches that are a super high price point, but you can get extreme value for money with this.
All right, not bad. I feel like it's a little bit of a cheat because you pick like your own company's limited edition, but sure. All right, I'm gonna go with the Tudor Black Bay GMT. I actually own this watch. That's probably the reason why I picked it. To me, it's just the best all-around travel watch that you can buy currently on the market. It's great value for the money. Rolex, sister brand Tudor, so you'll get the same quality as a Rolex watch. When this came out in 2018, they created like a beveling on the underside of the case that made this profile of the watch look much thinner than it actually is. You know, added sort of like visual effect to it. You get, Pepsi bezel, Tudor snowflake hand. This one also, you can get the version on a rivet bracelet, so it has like a bit of a vintage feel.
Yeah.
When you travel, you want something that don't really worry too much if it gets stolen or something. I think this is like probably one of the best watch. 200-meter water resistance, so you can just go in the pool and then just, if you go on a holiday, this is the one to go for. And for the price, probably best watch.
Great choice, but I have to say it's a little bit vanilla. With a watch like this, it's something very rare. There's not that many that have been made, and it's something very different from the rest. You want to stand out, be different from the crowd. A watch like this is something that stands out perfectly.
Because it's a brand that I think a lot of people would recognize. I think that kind of matters to most people, to have at least you have a name on a dial that people will immediately recognize, and the fact that it has all the details that I explained, the best travel watch. Perfect all-around watch, I think.
Yeah.
And I hope the audience agrees.
So what would you want? Do you want a watch that is made by a complete industrialized process, or do you want a watch that is made 10 hours painstakingly by China's only GMT-Master? I think for me, the answer is quite clear.
It's this one.
This.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're not too far off from
Okay.
each other.
Okay.
I picked the Rolex Offshore chronograph 44mm. Forged carbon, ceramic bezel, titanium buckle, titanium case back. I'm a sucker for square pushes, so that definitely helps. Great presence on the wrist. Yeah, man, I can't think of anything better. And then I have a soft spot for AP, obviously. This is by far one of the best pick you can find in that price range.
Nice. I picked the Rolex GMT-Master 2 Pepsi, a watch that you can't really go wrong with. Doesn't really matter, even though I know we are talking about sports watches. You can kind of wear this watch in any situation. So it was the first watch I got during COVID. I was traveling a lot in the beginning, trying to escape COVID back before we knew it was going to be a pandemic, and I wore this a lot. Very reliable. People recognize it, which is kind of bad outside of Asia and Middle East, but it's a good watch.
I do think you want something, honestly, for the value, can't beat this.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I might concede to you for this round, because for the value, forged carbon, ceramic bezel.
That's insane, man.
And it's a chronograph. So, you can time yourself lifting the 1 kg weights that you lift,
To me also, this is my favorite configuration of chronograph, just because I like the date to be actually at 3 o'clock. I don't like it when it's in between like 4 and 5. It looks too awkward. So this is the best chrono layout to me.
If you have wrists that can fit 44, then I would suggest go for this. If this is slightly too big for your wrist, then this. In this category, but you actually picked a good watch. I guess I'll save that for later.
I don't think you'll find a way to shit on me. All my choices are pretty good. Shit on my watches. Sorry. Okay, sure.
I picked the classic 15202 ST. Even though it was released over 20 years ago, they revamped it in 2012 to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the Royal Oak. And they paid homage to the original dial layout that the 5402 ST had. And what's amazing is it also uses the same legendary caliber 2121 movement, which also powered the original Royal Oak. This was the luxury sports watch that started it all for every single brand. This was released in the midst of the quartz crisis. Once AP released it, a lot of people actually thought this was the end of the brand. A few years later, Patek released the Nautilus, also hired the same designer. A plethora of brands also released their own versions of the luxury sports watch. And so, in essence, AP invented a new category at the most risky time in the industry. Every collector should have, if you have the means, at least have one Royal Oak in your collection. And this is the 15202 is, in my opinion, the quintessential Royal Oak.
I'm gonna agree with what you said, but I think in that price range, I went totally the other direction. I went with the Urwerk UR100V. Oyster, yes, that's how they pronounce it, I guess, in the normal language. Because they all work, and just in this price range, there's a lot of different options. You could have gone very safe, which is what you did, and I went totally in the other direction, because you get access to some independent brands in that price range, and this is a perfect example of what Urwerk does well, which is, you know, their standard complication, the satellite, wandering hours. This is by far the most wearable model they have. And added with the titanium, it makes everything very light. And you get like some, you know, added astronomical complication on it as well. I think this is a more interesting value proposition than what you picked.
And they both have very low water resistance. So we're not really competing in that category.
No, we're definitely not. No.
I also have an UR100 as well. They are fantastic on the wrist. They're very thin, very wearable. Can't really disagree with you there. Can't disagree with anything I said either, but you know, for the audience, depending on what you're looking for, if you're trying to be more
basic.
If you're trying to flex more, you should be getting something like this.
Flexes your knowledge. This is what you go for.
This also flexes your knowledge. 2121 movement, legendary caliber. Whenever I wear my Urwerk, whenever I'm at dinners or lunches, people always ask me what I'm wearing on the wrist. Has crazy wrist presence because it looks so different. Both good choices, I would say.
Yeah, but oh man, you cheat, bruh. I went with the Patek Nautilus 5711, but this one has a little added bonus on the dial, which is a Tiffany stamp. So double signed watches. As we know, they're kind of becoming a little bit rarer, especially since, you know, Tiffany seems to be scaling back a little bit the point of sales where we can get these double signed Pateks. And 5711 is discontinued. So this is part of like the rarity. Also the white dial, piano dial as they call it.
My
I think
favorite.
It's a more visual, interesting dial than the standard blue 5711. Probably between 250 to 300k US range on those ones now. In the long run, they're gonna be still valuable, still will be like interesting conversation pieces when people sort of spot what's on the dial. It's a more like,
when you
if you know, you know. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Cool, so let's go into my watch. It's the AP Royal Oak Openworked Tourbillon Selfwinding, reference 26735 ST. This one has a 50th anniversary rotor, which is, you know, a little added benefit. But in my opinion, this is the epitome of what a sports watch should strive to be. It has all of the hallmarks of haute horology, whether from, you know, beveling, openworking, everything, finishing, but it is durable. You can do sports in this. I can play golf in this. I went jet skiing in Thailand in open water with this on my wrist. My phone broke, but my watch was fine. You go swimming with this on, screw down crown, so you can go underwater. The rating isn't too high, but let's be honest, no one's really going below 50 meters. And if you are, you're a liar. And this watch right now, I think on the secondary, they're trading for just under $500,000 US. And yeah, it's just the creme de la creme of AP, in my opinion. However, I was debating between this one or another sports watch. It's the RM2701, the Nadal, over $1.5 million. I cannot afford it. An incredible watch as well, but it's not waterproof, doesn't have a screw down crown. And so pick this instead.
I mean, you spoke about that watch, like when it came out, you couldn't stop thinking about this one. Begged the EP to give one to you. Damn, son. Okay.
That's great.
That's a pretty good one. Pretty good choice. That's unfair though.
Why? Because I have better choices?
No, just on that one. The other ones I think I want, but this, damn, yeah, it's a pretty insane watch. Yeah, all right, fine. I'll give that one to you. Sorry, I threw your watch on the thing. Yeah,
good.
okay.
And initially I was deciding between this one and this one, but this is more of a sports watch. Even though this is more scratch resistant, this is still a perpetual calendar. They're pushers. You can't really go swimming with it without worrying, right? 2-on-2-on movement. So inherently it's a lot more delicate than this movement, which has been engineered to withstand shocks, basically. Just like with the RD4, you can play golf with it, right? Yeah, this is sick. I've been dailying this a lot, so.
I know. This is why. Ah, man.
Come to Hong Kong, you can daily these watches here. Unlike in Europe where I wear a swatch. Just his reaction, I won.
Yeah, man.
I won.
No, pretty damn good choice, man. Damn, the depth on this.
Insane, right? It's 3D Openworked, and it's even the sides of the movement, right?
See, but this is why I call cheating, because you knew that as soon as you pulled out this one, that was gonna cave.
It's the fucking goat.
Such a cheater, man. All right, fine.
What do you guys think? Let us know. Let us know.
Overall, I won, but on that one,
I think overall I won. You know, I was a little bit safer with my choices, but yeah, I think it's quite even. I think I won the first round, first and fourth. I think you won second and third. We'll see what the audience thinks, but I know who won in my mind.
It's me.
It's me.
Get the f out, man. It's me.
So that's it for today, guys. Please subscribe to our channel and let us know what you think. Who do you think won? I think I won, but let us know who you think won in the comments below, and stay tuned for more content from Wristcheck.